A very good morning to you. Welcome to the Monday edition of the show. It promises to be exciting as always. I'm Yemi Adebayo.
And I'm Cecilia Amogbe. We'll start with the Nigeria Professional Football League match day 16. It's going to get us talking today and so many talking points. But the big thing is Plateau United, they are back at the top, smashing or rather defeating or beating, however you want to put it, Amadou United by 5 goals to nothing. After failing to win for close to about three games now, they had to get back to Jos and they were able to put a spectacular performance over visiting Adamawa United.
All right, that's it. So Plateau United back on top in the Nigeria Professional Football League. At some point, they were in the third position, but the 5-0 victory over Adamawa United took them to the summit. Okay, so let's travel to the United Kingdom and talk about this guys. Very rampant. Liverpool reigning supreme in England. 16 points clear with one game at hand. And of course, a lot of people are saying just crown them champions in England. But of course, a 2-0 victory over Manchester United at Anfield puts them in pole position.
Let's give them the trophy already. I mean, United are 30 points behind Liverpool right now. And for Liverpool, they're gunning for their first title in 30 years. Also on the program, Corey Goff, Coco, I mean, she did it again against Venus Williams. When she announced her arrival at Wimbledon, beating Venus Williams, we thought that was just a fluke. But then at the Australian Open, they were paired together again. And this 15-year-old had to do another one against Venus Williams. 7-6, 6-3. She did it in straight sets. All right.
Okay, so that's how we start off the show today. Not with tennis, though. There's a lot of tennis on the show. But of course, we start with basketball. We go abroad, and later at some point we'll come home to talk about some things happening. But let's start you off with the two matches played in the NBA. Let's take a look at the results, and we'll tell you the stories behind the results. That's talking about the NBA. All right, so let's just go straight into it. What you have on screen is first you have the clips, then the results, and there you have it. Indiana Pacers beating the Denver Nuggets 115 points to 107. And you have the Miami Heat losing, surprise for me, losing to the San Antonio Spurs. Cecile, tell us the story behind these results that we have on screen.
Yeah, for Indiana Pacers, Nikola Jokic had a double. It was actually in vain because the streaky Indiana Pacers pulled off that victory over them against the Denver Nuggets. And the Pacers have scored the Nuggets by 15 points in the fourth quarter to snatch the 8-point victory. That's the 5th in a row, and Jokic had a game high of 30 points and 10 rebounds for the Denver, but that wasn't enough. The matters, Sabonis led Indiana with 22 points, and right now Indiana, they're having a good one, 28-15. He had 15 rebounds and 10 assists, and that's his first career triple-double, and this is the performance I just talked about, 22, 15, and 10. So for the very first time, he had a triple-double, and of course, led his team to that victory. TJ Warren, Marco Brandon, all of them chipping with 22 points apiece for the Pacers, while Mark Demont also added 24 in 21 minutes. Okay, you have our star performance there, one of them, Sabonis having 22, 15, and 10. Another player that also got into that particular one is Nikola Jokic, who had 30, 10, and 4, but wasn't enough for the Denver Nuggets because
on the losing side.
For the Indiana Pacers, they're just streaking some good wins. Now, let's talk about the star match of the day. We saw a picture of that earlier. For the Miami Heat, they just couldn't get the better of San Antonio Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge, it was on fire. He also had DeMar DeRozan also on fire. LaMarcus Aldridge scored 21 points. DeMar DeRozan 20 points. They combined for 41 to help the San Antonio Spurs to that 107 and 102 victory. Bam Adebayo had 21 points, 16 rebounds. The losing cause for Miami Heat, beating for the first time in 3 games. That just wasn't enough for these guys.
All right, wasn't enough, but you know, like we always say, a lot of these players prefer their teams winning over any personal accolade that can come their way. I'm very surprised that San Antonio Spurs were able to get this win. But I guess no matter how poor you are, you will have your day. And for the San Antonio Spurs, I guess this is just one of those days. Whether or not we're going to see more of this, time will tell. We'll see what the guys will be able to do. That's it for you. Talking about basketball on the foreign scene. So let's come to the African continent now and talk about what has been happening in a few days. The Basketball African League is something that has been gathering storm, gathering momentum, spreading like wildfire everywhere. A lot of people talking about it. I think the whole of last week, we were waxing lyrical about all the innovations, how African players will benefit, how Nigeria too stands to benefit. And of course, our man, Austin Okonakman, put something together just to see what this, in case you missed all the discussion, what this Basketball African League is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking into the Basketball League, what Africa stand to benefit, and also those teams that are taking part. You know, Rivers Hoopers, of course, representing Nigeria by the virtue of the fact that the President's Cup organized by Nigeria Basketball Association, they won it, and so they will be representing Nigeria. But what does this all mean for African players and also basketball development in Nigeria? Let's take a look at this report put together by Austin Okonakman.
We will unveil something special.
The arrival of the new professional league was announced with the unveiling of the logo in Kigali last year, December.
Hey, Basketball African League logo.
With basketball, Africa will tell a beautiful story about her people, celebrate its diversity and values.
The Basketball Africa League is a partnership between FIBA, the world's governing body for basketball, and the National Basketball Association. We are committed to building the Basketball Africa League into a world-class sports and entertainment property.
The organizers believe the league will improve the quality of play, but beyond the action, are there benefits in this for Africa?
Especially when it comes to our infrastructure, which is a main issue that we have in Africa. Building of arenas, building of stadiums, or like you see what's happened already in Kigali. That's already a huge plus. So we expect that to translate across Africa.
We've done a number of initiatives, and we feel that all that work now is culminating into this professional league that is going to attract global talent, that is going to also contribute in so many ways in the economic growth of the continent.
The inaugural regular season will take place in Lagos, Nigeria, Cairo, Egypt, Dakar, Senegal, Luanda, Angola, Rabat, Morocco, and Monastir in Tunisia. Rivers Hoopers of Port Harcourt will represent Nigeria in the league that will see the 12 teams play 5 games each, with the top 3 in each conference qualifying for the playoffs.
If we put our house in order and everything is good, everything is great, then we're going to get the best, we're going to perform better, and by the time they go to the African continent, so we can say, okay, you know what, we did very well, we won much luck.
Kigali, the Rwandan capital, will host the first ever Basketball Africa League finals. Austin Okonakman, Channels Television News.
We can't wait for it to start. It's going to be in March. And, of course, Lagos is one of the host city. A great one. And the Final Four will be played in, that's the final will be played in Kigali. That's in Rwanda. So it's going to be like the format of the NBA. You have the regular and, of course, the playoffs. And you have a winner. So much money in that.